Alright guys, so today's video we're going to be checking out the TOZO NC2s, and honestly, in my opinion, this is basically TOZO's take on the Apple AirPods Pro, but these come in at under $40. So to start with, this is a stem style design, but it has the shorter stem, again, kind of like the AirPods Pro. And I will say, for a budget pair of earbuds, the packaging is actually very impressive. I normally don't talk about the packaging because most time budget earbuds don't really have much to talk about. But you can see that it comes with 6 sets of silicone ear tips. It also comes with a USB-C cable. And technology-wise, it does have Bluetooth 5.2, but this pair also has hybrid active noise canceling and a transparency mode that's pretty decent. Now this isn't noise canceling that's obviously going to compare with the AirPods Pros, but I think it does a very good job of blocking out engine noises and AC units and anything that has like a lower tone to it. But anything like talking or higher frequencies, those sounds still seem to come through. So noise canceling is just decent at best, but the transparency mode is actually very good on this pair. I felt like I was able to hear my surroundings easily. I was able to even just keep them in my ear and still carry on a conversation without taking the earbuds out. And that's the only 2 modes you have on this pair because there is no normal mode. Although if you're just using one earbud at a time, it does switch over to a normal mode. But just keep in mind, if you have both earbuds in, it's either going to be active noise canceling or transparency. And another thing that I felt was really impressive on this pair is the battery life, because like I said, it has active noise canceling that's on all the time, and you're still going to get 8 hours of battery life on a single charge. And with the charging case, you're going to get around 32 hours total. So having 8 hours on a single charge while using active noise canceling is very impressive. Now this pair doesn't have any kind of fast charge feature, although it only does take about 2 hours to fully charge these. I do still wish that they had a feature where you can charge them for 5 or 10 minutes and get an hour to maybe 2 hours of use. But a huge plus is the charging case is a Qi wireless charging case, so you can just come in, drop it on any wireless charger, which also means that you don't have to keep up with the USB-C cable that's included. Now, as far as the rest of the case, it does have a pairing button on the back. It does have a USB-C input on the bottom, and then it has 4 indicator lights on the front. That way you can kind of tell how much battery life is left on the case. So now moving over to checking out the earbuds. This is one of those pairs that has an IPX6 rating, which is kind of high for a pair that has active noise canceling. So it's one of those you can use out in different environments. You don't have to worry about water as much as long as you don't submerge them into water. This pair also has smart sensors where it will auto pause if you take them out of your ears, and it just goes back to whatever you were listening to once you put them back in. These also use touch controls, and I'm happy to say that they give you control over everything. So you have the ability to play, to pause, skip your tracks forward, go backwards. You have volume control. You also have the ability to switch it between noise canceling on and your transparency mode. Now there is no low latency mode on this pair, but I did notice that I didn't have any kind of lag when it came to movies or videos. There is a slight lag when it comes to gaming, and I also noticed if you use this with a PC, there seems to be quite a bit of lag. So if you're looking for a pair of earbuds to use with your computer, this is not one of those pairs that I would recommend for that. And then for you guys that do like to use your earbuds for phone calls, this pair has 6 microphones total where it's trying to focus in on your voice and block out a lot of your surroundings while on phone calls. And I'll say for the most part, I feel like it does a pretty decent job. I do feel at times my voice seems a little bit muffled because it doesn't seem to pick up as much clarity as some other earbuds that I've tested, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the NC2s. Again, I was very impressed with the mic quality on these. I do wish that it picked up a little bit more treble in my voice, but it definitely picks up bass tones nicely. And this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound on these is your classic V-shaped sound signature, which basically means the bass is definitely boosted. There is a lot of punch in this pair. Same thing with the treble. The treble is boosted quite a bit as to where if you listen to these at higher volumes, you're going to notice that it kind of has a harsh sound to it, where S's have that sibilance, kind of hisses at times if you're listening to them basically at max volume. But they're doing that on purpose to kind of counterbalance that very powerful bass. So it is a very in-your-face earbud. But when it comes to mids, it seems as though they left mids alone. And for the most part, this sounds great across all genres. But I will say with metal or anything that seems to be chaotic, the bass and the treble can definitely leave the mids a little behind. It's basically where the mids are recessed just a little bit. Now this isn't anything extreme, but just know that the bass and the treble in this pair is definitely prominent, and they didn't do anything to push the mids forward. And there's no way to EQ these because this company doesn't have an app. I mean, you can download a third-party EQ app to try to fix this some, but I feel like either way, you're still going to get a very powerful in-your-face earbud. Now when it comes to the sound stage and the sound imaging, because of its very V-shaped sound signature, this isn't an extremely open earbud. It does still make me feel like I'm in a medium to large size room. I didn't have any issue with being able to tell where sounds were coming from. They just don't sound as distant as some of the other ones. It just sounds like everything's a little closer. Again, this is an in-your-face earbud that just doesn't hold back. So really, my overall opinion is this. For $40, you're getting an AirPod Pro alternative that's bassier, it's more in your face, it has a brighter treble. You're getting some pretty decent noise canceling, but this is definitely not something I would compare to the AirPods Pros or the Sony or the Bose. But you are still getting a Qi wireless charging case, you're getting an IPX6 rating. This pair has smart sensors. It has very good battery life for a pair that has active noise canceling. This is another one of those budget pairs that's showing you how much you can get without having to spend a lot of money. And pairs like this are just always easy to recommend because it's an excellent alternative to some of the more expensive pairs out there. But guys, that wraps up the video on the TOZO NC2s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.